Home doesn't really have a definition to me. It's like a color you've never seen before. I'm currently residing in Highland, which is a pretty nice town. Just don't know how nice it is because I've been living on the side of a highway and I live in a motel.
Hold on one second, we're hearing someone. Is this someone screaming outside?
Yeah. Yeah, those are my neighbors.
He wasn't hurt, they play on.
Pressman begins his special report on New York's mentally ill.
Today, there's a new epidemic, smokable cocaine, otherwise known as crack.
I was born in East New York, Brooklyn, and I was raised there during the crack epidemic. My father was a heroin user and my mom was a crack addict. They died when I was 9 and 11 from AIDS. I'm no stranger to being displaced. As soon as my parents died, simultaneously we went into foster care and I went through 36 foster homes. It wasn't until I got out of high school that I started to realize I need stability. So I decided to start going into the workforce and kind of stabilizing my life. But then I met my daughter's father and I was a victim of domestic violence. So I started moving around again at 24, 25 years old. And I was moving around now with a baby. I don't have the best relationship with her. My parents were like really bad people. Like my dad was so abusive. He would like pee on my mother and throw her down a flight of steps. So I can imagine what kind of relationship I would have had with my mom being a victim of domestic violence. I looked at her my whole life as a weak person, and I didn't want any affiliations with a weak person. And then I became her. So I can understand where my daughter is coming from in terms of anger. However, I look forward to a day where her and I can come together and just normalize a good relationship. I never saw a place like Beacon. I was never in a position where I could afford to live in a place like Beacon. I was so happy to be able to afford something and not have to worry about having to be displaced. When I think about living in that apartment, it was just completely traumatizing, from a white woman spitting in your face and the white cops taking you down as if you're a vulture. They said that I looked like I was the more aggressive person just because of the color of my skin. And she was actually more aggressive than I was. I was actually scared of her. The housing authority that I was in decided to take her side over mine when there were so many preventive things that they could have done to rehabilitate us in that complex. They instead decided to kick me out.
The rush to protect millions of Americans who could be evicted as early as Sunday if the White House or Congress can't devise a way to extend the eviction moratorium.
Was going through my mind, okay, I'm about to face an eviction. How poor can I get in this country? I can't get but so poor. That was my thought at the time, until I got into the shelter and I couldn't believe it. I was in a state of shock.
The temporary housing unit located on the grounds of the Dutchess County Jail was turned into a 24/7 shelter after County Executive Mark Molinaro signed an emergency order allowing this to move forward.
Go right ahead.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. My name is Zakiyah Maynard. I'm here in a shelter, and I was kind of violated going in the shower. It was just like, it's so much corruption here, and it's hard for a person to have dealt with an injustice, and as a result, they're in the shelter. But now they're in the shelter environment, and they're panicked.
And we'll make some connection for you.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very much,
I
Zakiyah.
appreciate
Thanks
that.
for calling in.
Okay.
So this has been a great town hall.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I got to figure out something else. I cannot live in a shelter because this is going to destroy me. This is the highway that I have to walk every day to get to either a store or any place, a laundromat, anywhere I need to get to. I just can't get there without this highway. It's not really a way that I can actually get a job and really be able to get myself back on my feet. This is how I walk every day. The cars obviously are coming behind me. I'm constantly having like anxiety attacks trying to get to the bus stop. I'm just hopeful that nothing happens to me on the way to the bus. So the system to me is an organization designed to help you fail. The system is not rehabilitative. It's designed to make people comfortable but uncomfortable. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. It's easy to pay $640 of rent as opposed to $2,000. So that's the comfortable part of it. The uncomfortable part is that you remain at the bottom. This is my room that I've been subject to living in for the last 3 months. This is where I hang my clothes because there's no laundromat. I've purchased an air fryer just so that I can not use these things as much because these things are just lethal. And I could get a more normal meal in this, but it's difficult not to have a stove. I'm gonna take you over to the rest of the little bit of space. Obviously, as you can see, this is also a problem with washing dishes. Yeah, this is pretty much it. It's not a lot of space. It's about maybe 200 square feet of room. It's a remote location, so basically my Wi-Fi, it really does act up in here. So when I decide to go back to school, that's going to be an obstacle as well. So yeah, the personality disorders is different than the symptomatic, like the symptoms. It's very different in the way they behave. So it's about behavioral therapy. It's not about a diagnosis at that point.
Yeah, because he had PTSD. My husband has PTSD.
I do plan on getting my KSAC and just kind of getting certificates and things that I can achieve while I'm here so that I can become more marketable, more employable. Oh man, this is the worst internet connection you ever want to learn about. I gotta keep the door open. Like, I don't feel like I can ever afford to get out of here. When we have a minimum wage of $12.75 in 2022. Excuse me? Where are we going with that? What are we gonna do with $12.75 when we have children and we have car notes and we have places where people, need to commute back and forth to work? We have transportation, we have light bills and gas bills and all these different bills, which gives me more anxiety about going out there and doing anything right now. I feel like nothing that I do is going to be lucrative enough, and that's most people in their thought process right now, that they feel like even if I go to work, I'm not going to be able to afford to live. I don't know what's going on with my brain today. I'm feeling like suicidal. I just pray that I hold on because sometimes I don't feel well. And this is kind of one of the days I just don't feel well. Facing these things by yourself, sometimes you could become your worst critic and you could become your worst enemy, because the thoughts that go through my head is ridiculous. It's tormenting. My inside critic says, you're ugly. You're not only ugly, but you're dark. And you're not only dark, but you're fat. But you're not only fat, but you're out of shape. So now I'm just left with all of my negative thoughts. And they're really overwhelming at times. Now I'm feeling a little bit scared, just because the reality is that I have to go in here and pretty much disclose my life and how I made it here. I don't know what home means in its entirety, but I do know that it should be a place of comfort. It should be a place of respite. It should be a place of love and respect. Why haven't I had a home? It just feels like, what happened that I never had a home? And I understand what happened. It's just that it just makes me feel like I'm not human. I don't deserve it. It feels good, but I definitely am still kind of registering that I'm in a home right now. I feel relieved. I do feel relieved, but I do know that there's still work to be done with the homeless population. I still can help that population in small ways, advocacy, helping them understand that they too deserve a better life. I have a job that allows me to help people. I have a job at the senator's office. I'm here to take your opinion. Case management is something that I always dreamed of doing. And after I got my case act, the opportunity kind of was there. So now I get up and I go to work every day. I feel purposeful. I feel like I'm a resource in this life as opposed to a recipient. Just being able to drive now, I would have thought that it was impossible maybe about a year ago to drive. But now I see it's anything is possible. I am in a state of just daring to show up in this world.
There's so much vulnerability that goes into storytelling, and it's so hard to just really tell your story in front of the camera and hope that it reaches somebody. And I remember talking to her and telling her, yo, just trust me and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you. Actually, Zakiyah, can you come up, please? Can you come up?
Yes, so I'm super excited about the opportunities. I'm still in school. I'm still taking a stab at my degree. I'm still work in progress, but I didn't let anything stop me. My resilience is impeccable, and I refuse to give up.